Hello YouTube, this is the 8th video in our JavaScript Advanced tutorial series. In this video we're going to be talking about timers. Basically, JavaScript has some built-in functions that allow you to time things or execute code on a schedule. So there are a few ways of doing that. The first most commonly used function is setTimeout, which is a function in itself, but it has two parameters. The first one is a function inside which the code that you want to execute goes, and then the second is a integer value, which is just number, which is the number of seconds you want to wait to execute your code. So after 1000 milliseconds, it will execute the code inside of here. So if we say console.log, it has been 1 second, it will execute that code once after the page is loaded and waited a second. So there you go. And I can put this inside of that so that once it's been a second, it waits another second and does it again. Whatever. There you go. Yeah, so again, these values have to be in milliseconds, but if you want to put them in seconds, you can just multiply your seconds. Like you could make var seconds equal to 6, and then multiply seconds by 1000, and that would give you the correct millisecond value. Yeah, so that's that. That only executes the code once, but if you want, you can use setInterval, which has the same parameters, but the millisecond value means, or it does something different. The second parameter is still a millisecond value, so every second, but rather than just executing it once a second has passed, it continuously executes it at a rate of that many milliseconds. So it waits 1000 milliseconds, executes the code, waits another 1000 milliseconds, and executes the code. So as you can see, that's working. You could make a timer using this by creating a variable and then saying variable plus plus, so variable, we're incrementing that variable by 1, and then say I plus seconds have gone by. Yeah. Whatever. Who cares about grammar? There you go. So that'll just continue forever. The problem with setInterval is that it's not very accurate, but let me show you how to stop the interval anyway. So you set it equal to a variable, or you set a variable equal to the function actually, and then when you want to stop it, you'd say if I is greater than 5, then stop it. So you would stop it by writing clearInterval and then the name of the interval, or the variable that is storing the interval, and then you'd say timer is equal to null or 0. So it did that 6th one, we could just say greater than or equal to, and it'll wait till 5. But so setInterval isn't the most accurate way to do that. we can actually do this more efficiently by saying function timer and then saying set timeout function, then your code would go there, and every second we'd say console.log I whatever, and then once we executed that code we would call the function again. So what this does is every time this is called it waits 1,000 seconds and then does this. When I call this though, that starts over. So it waits 1,000 seconds, does this, waits 1,000 seconds, does this. You know, and you have to call it once to start it. So you can say timer, and that will start it. And it'll go forever unless you use an if statement. You can say, well, let's not get into that. Well, you could say if I is greater than 5, greater than or equal to, or I guess we would say if I is less than or equal to 5, then we want to do it again. Oops. There we go. So it's only going to start over if I is still less than 5. Whoops. Sorry. Otherwise it won't start over. So I should just done less than. But yeah, that's about it for this video. And timers. We'll be using timers when we do our JavaScript Canvas game development series. But that's it for timers in our advanced series. In the next video we're going to be working with the date object, messing around with that, getting the current date and time and whatever. Yeah, so that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe.